Meteorologist Jason Nappy tracking multiple storms the next 10 days. This one's not a clipper. This one's coming from the Ohio Valley, so it's going to throw moisture up here into that cold air in New England tonight, and then tomorrow we clear out. Another one comes through from the north on Sunday. So there's a look at radar. See that rain outside of Cleveland, down towards West Virginia, Washington, Baltimore. It's D.C., Washington, Providence, Boston, some light stuff, but the bigger batch of moisture is going to come when this low pressure system that's off to the west here over Chicago, is going to move east, and we're going to have a little moisture come up the coast here. Most of it's rain, mid-Atlantic, southern New England, and then it's going to be snow when you're heading up to the north. Northern New England gets the snow on this. So take a look at things now. Here's a satellite picture and shows that L spinning here. That's a little comma shape. Let me switch this over to a different color so we can see that here with this white background. And there it is. You got your L, your low pressure system that's moving through the Ohio Valley, and here it comes. That's going to be pushing all that moisture up from the Gulf of Mexico. So you get a Gulf system or Gulf moisture coming in instead of a Alberta clipper. So this one has more moisture to work with here. You can see that very clearly on the infrared. I'm taking a look at the water vapor imagery. So let's look at this moisture here that's coming in from the south and the west here in the Gulf of Mexico. Some thunderstorms or some heavier showers forming there. Here's the dry air behind. And then there's that spin in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. And here's the moisture coming up that's in the mid-Atlantic right now. So it's not going to be a major storm, but it will have plenty of moisture with it by standards here that we've seen here in a weak La Nina. So here's the forecast. High resolution stuff. This is for Friday. So watch what happens here as that moisture comes and hits the cold air. So right there, and I'll stop it, boom. This is Friday evening, okay? So into the evening time on Friday, you're going to start to see snow break out. Northern New England, the Northeast, it's a rain-snow line battle going on around the Albany region here, heading up Oneonta to Albany. And then there's your rain-snow line in southern Maine, heading up to the mid-coast here. It's all snow, mostly in Vermont and New Hampshire, except for the seacoast, getting in on snow. Here's the map put into motion now in the overnight. And then watch as the storm pushes through and east. You've got low pressure tracking right over Long Island, and it's all snow by the overnight, by midnight, by 1 o'clock in the morning in Maine. So you see that here. This is all snow coming through, and it will continue to be so. It'll become a little bit lighter and fluffier in Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont as we get into the overnight, and that cold air comes down from the north just a bit. But this is not a major storm. There will be a couple inches of snow on the ground by the time you wake up on Saturday. Then that pulls through and that's gone. We get high pressure to come in. We're going to cool down significantly on Saturday, but we're going to warm up in the February 5th to February 9th time frame. So here's a little preview of what's going to be happening. A big ridge developing here off the East Coast, and that's just going to pump in well above average temperatures. You've got your trough here. That's out towards the Pacific Northwest, and that's going to mean cold and snow out to Pacific Northwest and the Cascades. But for the East and the Southeast especially, it is not going to feel like winter. We'll get into that in a second. Let's talk about the forecast for Sunday night into Monday. Here's another storm. Now, this one's coming from the north, a lot more like a clipper, and it starts off as snow Sunday night here. You see this is around, we'll call it 1, 2, 3 o'clock. As we get into the overnight, we'll hear that snow breaking out while you're sleeping. And then Monday morning, things clear out considerably and quickly here, except for the western mountains and the upslope going on. You see that southern Maine's clear. Down east has snow and rain mixing in, and it's snow up here in the county here. So this is Monday morning, right around wake-up time, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And then that clears out for Tuesday. And then watch what happens here. We got another storm popping up. This is for Wednesday night into Thursday here. So let's pick things up Thursday morning around daybreak. So we're in the parade of storm season. What is it? January 31st or February 1st, right? So we're getting into a lot more of an active pattern here. Although in a weak La Nina, there's not a lot of moisture here. There's just enough, but not a ton. So we'll take a look at things here. Because once again, we don't have that subtropical jet stream. We've got a little bit of it, but not a lot. And certainly not going to have the combining of the jet streams. We've just got enough moisture going over marginally cold air. Now, the computer models like to do is underestimate cold air. So, February 6th, Thursday morning, so next week, there's going to be enough cold air here. Watch out for a little cold air damming setup, especially in those wind-sheltered valleys, but even could be enough cold air down towards Connecticut and the River Valley, all the way down towards New Hampshire and into Connecticut. So we'll have to wait and see here. This is obviously several days away, but put the map into motion, take you into the day on Thursday, and watch here. The warm air wins this battle. Now, there's still some snow, enough snow breaking out, enough cold air that up in the county, heading up down east, there's some snow hanging on. But eventually, the warm air wins the battle with this on Thursday, February 6th, and then that is out of here. Now, there could be some thunderstorms firing with this too, the clash of that cold and warm air. So then, put the map into motion for the weekend, next weekend, not this one coming up, next weekend, another storm on the weather highway coming through. Low pressure down here, hugging the coast, maybe even a bit inland, but there's enough cold air inland. You see the 540 line right around here. So there's enough cold air to have snow break out in mostly northern New England, but a portion of the Northeast in New York and also southern New England. We'll see what happens there in Boston. So that's another storm. That's for the upcoming weekend of next weekend. So February 8th and 9th. And then put the map into motion and clear out. And another storm, February 11th here. This one is far enough off the coast where it's mostly all snow, except for New York City would be on the rain-snow line. A long time to fine-tune that forecast. But I want to talk about the pattern here overall on the EPS. So this is the European model, the ensemble model. So you look at the forecast, the average of all the runs, 50 runs of this computer model on the weather highway. And what you have here is not a snow lover's dream. This is a big ridge, okay? And with a big ridge, you're not going to have big opportunities for snowstorms. That's just not going to happen. That's not in the cards for us as we get into the February 5th time frame. That's why the warm air is going to win out with that forecast, and that ridge pushes east. So we start off as snow or ice, but then as we get into February 6th, the warm air is going to win out. So look at the bigger picture here for North America. Let's go out to February 15th. Let's push things to the max here. And you've got a trough. Again, here's your trough, and you've got your ridge. So another ridge on the East Coast for February 15th. So what you're seeing here is a warming trend, again, with more temperatures warming up, with the heights rise, temperatures rise, and you've got your trough here. Let me draw this correctly here. So you've got your trough and your ridge. So let me draw it correctly. Here's your trough. So snow, Pacific Northwest, ridge in the east means warmer temperatures and not as much as the way as snow. Not a snow lover's dream at all. It's a picture of, I don't want to say gloom and doom, but it does not look good as we get to the middle of the month. Now, I'll say it's very volatile, so we'll get opportunities for snow and also opportunities for rain. It's going to go up and down. We're going to be in this yo-yo weather pattern. So it's not that it's not going to snow on the East Coast, but when it does, it'll be gone quickly. So here's the surface analysis Friday morning, showing what's going on, your snapshot of the weather highway, of the atmosphere. You've got your warm front right now over Maine, so that's going to push temperatures up here just a bit. So we're getting out of the deep freeze that we were in really on Thursday. If you call it a deep freeze, it didn't last very long. And then here's your storm coming from the Ohio Valley, moving across to the East Coast, and then that's gone out to sea. High pressure comes in by Sunday morning. We start off sunny and clear, and then the clouds get here pretty quickly. So here's a good tool from the National Weather Service to show in southern Maine, to show they start off as rain tonight, Friday night, and then we've got snow breaking out as the temperature begins to go down. So you've got your snow, an inch or two, 3 inches at the absolute most, but here the rain's going to cut into that snowfall just a bit. So you're not going to have a pure snow event in a place like southern Maine. Then the wind picks up. On Saturday, it gets colder, a lot colder, so the temperature is going to drop here down to the 20s for highs. Nothing that we can't handle. A full blog on jasonnappyweather.com. You can click on my timeline and snow amounts here with a little help from the Weather Service there. I have a blog about La Nina's impact on winter. What does it mean? And more winter storms coming next 10 days, which I'm talking about right now. Forecast on Nappicast.com has a video up right now about a minute and a half for the next 10 days, next couple of days. It's all here, forecast made by hand. So I'll upload that and get that completely updated here. I'll get the snow map in the 10 days updated on jsnappyweather.com. Thank you for watching. For the latest, once again, it's my Facebook page. It's X, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, jsnappyweather.com, and nappicast.com.